now that I've not picked a fight, it's kind of weird, and I'm not sure how to respond now. Forgiveness is so important that Christ himself put death off for a little bit to make sure that he forgave right before he died. While he was on that cross, before he took his last breath, it was important enough. He set that example for us. Because here's the thing. He could have not healed the lady with the issue of blood, and we still would have had the gospel. He could have chosen not to heal the lepers and the blind. He could have even not raised Lazarus. But if he didn't raise himself from the dead, we wouldn't be here today.
That's right.
We wouldn't have Christianity. That was the big one. And he needed to be absolutely free to be able to flow in the full power of God to bring his own self back to life. And I want you to think about this. In Isaiah, it says that as he hung up on that cross, that his entrails, that's his intestines, were hanging out of his body. The blood from his beard being ripped out of his face, dripping. Not to mention, you could see his lungs going in and out as he breathed because of the cat of nine tails had pulled so much off of him. And in his last few breaths, they offended him, obviously. That's a pretty big offense. Yet he said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And I dare say, unless we've been offended that bad, there shouldn't be anything that we can't let go of.
Wow, it's good.
So tonight we're having a foot washing service. And in the biblical days, when you walked into someone's home, they offered you some water for your feet to wash the dirt off from the places you have traveled from. Many, many years ago, my husband and I had gone to spend a weekend together, and unknowingly he had brought a basin to wash my feet in. And I was thinking, not quite sure what to think of this one here. Is this a new move he's trying? I don't know. So he explained it to me. He says, I have put you through so much hurt and pain in our marriage through infidelity. And I want to wash away the dirt that I put on your feet that still, at that point, travel back to the offense. In my mind kept traveling back to the hurt. Over and over and over again. And he apologized and said, I wish that I could undo it. Please forgive me. But I want to wash your feet so you never have to travel there again. I can't explain it. But he washed that path away. Now, it also took me choosing to allow that to take place. Not for it to be like, hey, well, whatever. Go ahead. I was tired of walking that same path.
Amen.
I was tired of the hurtful images I had in my head. Whenever he and I would try to be intimate, and Satan had a great way of putting an image I don't want to see in my head. Years of going down that same path. God had put it in his heart. Many of our minds keep traveling back to the past offenses, which keep the affection alive and circulating within us. So tonight, what we're going choose not to travel down those paths any longer that have been so worn out within our minds. It's a choice. So we're going to go ahead and set up. And as you come up and have your feet washed, it's choosing to let the offenses go. I'm choosing